So on the previous episode, I recommended you the perfect morning routine for the best day ever. So to compensate on this longest episode from 2 weeks ago, today I'm gonna do a quick and short episode about 5 books that freaking changed my life. And before I dive into those 5 books, I just wanted to greet those of you who are new to my channel. My name is Vika. I am a singer, rapper, poet, photographer, artist, YouTuber, podcaster, and whatnot. And you're watching Align as Fuck, which is a podcast that I created to help you guys shift your life and create a better future for yourself, because I did that, and everything I say on this channel is things that I do myself. And those of you who are not new to my channel, welcome back, and thank you so much for supporting me and my channel and watching those videos. I'm so happy that you're here and you're making a change with your life. Please let me know if there are any other episodes that you would like me to put out, because I am doing this for you. And please don't freak out if my dog jumps right behind me, because he is here listening to my episode about how to change your life with some books. So let's start with book number 1. It's going to be Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book, I read it a year ago, and it made me look differently about routine and things that I do daily. Because this book is so easy to read and it's so easy to follow, because like I talked about in previous episode with your morning routine, you don't need to start big. And this is exactly what he talks about in his book, but he breaks it down into small little things that will shift your entire reality. So if you are somebody who is looking to change something in their lives, starting by small little things like starting working out, start meditating, eating healthy, whatever it is that you're trying to incorporate in your life, I'm really recommending, I can't recommend enough this book, because it will help you establish those little habits and actually train your brain into incorporating them as part of your life easily. The second book is actually my favorite book of all time. Those of you who know me, you know what I'm going to say. Those of you who are not, you're probably not going to be surprised, because I think it's a classic everyone heard about, but it's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Guys, if you didn't read this book, it's mind-blowing in a way that it tells a story. It's just a story. It's not a self-help book. It's not a psychology book. It's not anything like that. It's a story. It's a fictional story about a boy who's looking for his treasure. But the lessons you learn throughout this book and the way the story develops and the lesson you learn by the end of the book is just mind-blowing. And it's such a classic that really, if you haven't read this book, please do. And if you read it a long time ago like I did, let's reread it, shall we? Because it's a mind-blowing book. It's such a classic, and it's really worth reading. Especially if you're that type of person who is really into trusting the guidance of the universe and following your path, listening to your heart, to your intuition. This book is for you, because it's exactly about that. It's about trusting the journey and really believing that everything happens for a reason, no matter how bad it looks in the moment. It's leading you somewhere. It is. The third one, and I always recommend it, I can't recommend it enough, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. So if you used to watch my podcast on Newtown Radio, Kevin was a guest on my show. He's a fellow musician as well, and he recommended me this book, and he told me that this book changed his life. And my God, I read this book, and it's a life changer. Trust me on this one. If there's a book that I would tell you, like, start with this book if you want to really change your life, start with Joe Dispenza. First of all, if you don't know who Joe Dispenza is, I talk about him all the time, because I am obsessed with the way that he's teaching you how to shift your reality. Because you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be somewhere to do it. You don't need to take any master classes. You don't need anything. You only need your brain. You only need yourself, and you can shift your reality. And he teaches that. So Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I think it's like an introductory. I don't know if it's like the first that he wrote in this specific topic, but this is an introductory. I don't know. But this is a book that will introduce you to how to change your reality. And if you're watching my channel, if you're enjoying the content, I'm taking a lot of things, a lot of inspiration from Joe Dispenza and the things he talks about when I'm talking about meditation, when I talk about the alpha, beta, or theta, gamma waves, which I talked about last episode. If you watch it, if you missed it, it's right here. but I talked about it and I told you that if you don't know what it is, go and listen to Joe Dispenza, listen to his podcast. Like he's been a guest in so many podcasts. And if you can purchase this book, please do, because it will change your life. But you need to be open-minded because it's non-traditional. It's not something that if you're not familiar with Joe Dispenza, maybe you haven't heard about it before. So try to keep an open mind because it changed so many other people's lives. And I can't recommend it enough. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. The fourth one is going to be The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I hope I say it right. Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a book that my partner gave me. It's a really small book. So those of you who don't like reading and he's like, oh, books, start with this one because it's really small. It's a tiny book with only 4 rules for life. And those rules, till this day, I read this book maybe like last year or in the beginning of the year, I don't know, like a few months ago. Till this day, every time that I react, every time that I have a certain thought that I can't understand, every time that I find myself going back to this book so many times, because these 4 agreements, it's the 4 rules to life. It's almost like, when you're walking on the path and suddenly you're like a little misaligned and you remember this book and you're like, oh, right, oh, okay. And it just kind of sets you straight. I don't want to say the agreements because I'm just going to ruin the book for you, but it's rules for life that are not hard to follow that will make your life so much better around yourself, around other people, just a better person overall, less stress, less anxiety, better communication. Just check it out, The 4 Agreements. By the way, all the books are linked down below and I will not hide it from you. Those are affiliate links, which means that I will get a commission if you buy those books through those links. It doesn't make it more expensive. It's still the same price as Amazon, but I will make a commission as somebody who recommended you the books. So if you want to go get them, you can click the link below. If you're really against affiliate, you can find it on Amazon. It's absolutely the same, but I can appreciate the help. And the 5th one, they all life-changing. It's crazy. I'm changed my life. They all changed my life. That's why I'm telling you about them. But the 5th one is The Courage to Be Disliked by Fumitagi Koga and Ichiro Kashimi. I hope I said the names correctly, but the book is phenomenal, especially if you are dealing with things from the past. If you have traumas, if you have certain insecurities that you have from childhood, if you have certain blocks in your life, if you have fears and you're dealing with fears that are kind of stopping you from achieving your goals, oh my God, read this book. I don't know how I found this book, to be honest. It wasn't recommended to me. I listened to it on Audible, but I will definitely recommend reading it. It's a very different take on trauma and fears and childhood. It reverses your entire brain and you're like, wait, what? But it's basically, it will shift your mind into understanding that, I don't want to reveal the book to you, but basically if you have traumas, fears, and blocks, once you read this book, you will understand how to navigate your life with it and stop using those traumas, blocks, and fears to not move forward in your life or to kind of stay in the same place because of those things. Basically not using trauma as an excuse. It sounds bad, not to use trauma, because trauma is real, but open your mind into reading this book and it gives you a different take on those things, on those problems. And maybe if you still haven't been able to overcome these fears and traumas and things from the past, this book is a non-traditional way of you to giving it one more shot to change your life and overcome those things. And it definitely something that made me think a lot about life in general and about how I see things and my traumas and my childhood and what excuses I've been giving myself to not do certain things because of traumas and fears and doubts that were created years ago that I'm still dealing with today. So definitely The Courage to Be Disliked it's a very interesting book because it's a conversation basically between a boy and a teacher, and the questions that the boy asks is almost like our voice, the voice of the reader, of like, oh, so you're saying the drama is not important? And the teacher is like, that's not what I said. And then he explains it, and it's a very, very interesting dialogue. I do prefer, like, I would recommend reading it, but listening to this book, specifically this book, an audio version is not bad at all. It's not bad at all. So if you want to listen to it in Audible, that's also going to be great. If not, again, the link is down below. But these are the 5 books that changed my life. So to conclude it all, we have Atomic Habits, about building healthier habits. We have Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, which is a great book for life, for inspiration, for just a classic that you, oh my God, have to read. The third one would be Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is one of my favorite books, became one of my favorite books. The fourth one is The 4 Agreements. And the fifth one is The Courage to Be Disliked. If you have read those books, if you have read some of these books, comment down below which ones you read and what you think about it, because I would love to hear your opinion. But that will be it for today. We'll meet again in 2 weeks. And if you want to catch up on previous episodes, please do. It's right here and in the link down below. Like, subscribe, comment. I love you guys. Have a good week.